Hi, and welcome to From a Full Cup. I'm your host, Natalie Mullin, a certified wellness educator, speaker, facilitator, and teacher. From a Full Cup is a mental wellness education podcast that helps women prioritize their wellness and put themselves first, because you can't pour from an empty cup. I present unique wellness tips and strategies in ways that are relatable and practical and can be adopted for your lifestyle. Whether I'm speaking at an event, facilitating a workshop, or coaching clients, I'm passionate about helping women dream big, take action, and move the needle forward to achieve the life they want. Now, let's get started. Hey, y'all. This is my 35th episode. Woohoo! I'm so happy you're here, and today is a different kind of episode because it is completely unscripted. I don't even have a bullet point written. And this episode is called Pause. As I learn more about mindfulness and just think about ways that I can incorporate mindfulness and rest and balance into my life, I want to bring that into the podcast too. And so from time to time, I'm just going to have a pause where I'm just going to sit and talk to you guys and just reflect on what's been going on, the lessons I've been learning, and just kind of my overall journey. And I think that this is a really good practice that anyone can do in their own lives too. I think there just comes a point where you're working so hard, and sometimes you're not even pausing to say, well, let me recognize where I've come from, the accomplishments I've made, and where I might need to go from there. There just comes a point where you need to consolidate the learning. And so that is what we are doing today. And so I just start to think like, wow, I have a podcast. This is my 35th episode. That's pretty impressive. They say a lot of episodes, a lot of podcasts actually stop at 10. So kudos to me. I am 3 times past that, and I have no plans of stopping. And I've learned so many things along the way. I really enjoy this medium of communicating. And I know for the most part it is one-way communication, but I just really enjoy the idea of being able to share my ideas with the world and that somebody might be able to hear it and be positively influenced and somebody outside of my community. Because, I talk to my friends, I talk to my neighbors, I talk to my colleagues, but sometimes you feel like the impact should go further than that, or at least have the potential to. And that's what this podcast allows for. And, you know, I I really just focus on getting it out there. And I think a next goal for me will be about how do I market the podcast? How do I share it with more people? So, I mean, if you like the podcast episodes, please feel free to share them with your friends, or leave me a comment or a rating, anything like that to let me know that you're encouraging me and supporting me to keep going. And I just really am grateful. I'm grateful that people tune in and listen. That's really exciting to me. And I'm grateful when I get feedback and someone tells me, I listened to one of your episodes and this really helped me, or you really made me think about this. I just love making that kind of impact. And there's so many things I've learned outside of the actual podcasting, but just even in terms of like how to upload, how to record an episode, how to edit an episode, how to upload an episode, how to make the graphics for the episode, how to book guests, how to find guests, how to coordinate with guests, how to come up with questions for guests. Like there is so much behind the scenes that I had no clue about. And this is why I'm so passionate about just getting started. I did not have a clue about anything. Even the fact that right now I'm recording and I'm using a microphone, there are several of my episodes that I was just using my phone or just using my computer. And maybe you heard a difference in the audio, but you know what? So many people will hold themselves back and say, well, I'm not going to do it because I don't have a fancy mic or I don't have a this and I don't have that. Just get started and you can improve over time. There are so many times that, I've learned how to kind of go with the flow of and work out the structure of my episodes so that they can be kind of, you know, consistent. I like consistency. Now my off the cuff episodes, those are a little different. Let me know if you like those, by the way, because I feel like I keep changing those up, and it just depends on the vibe of the moment. But I enjoy doing them, so I'll probably still keep doing them. But yeah, it's just, and another really cool thing has been now that I'm doing guest interviews every other week, I'm just meeting people from all over the world. I've interviewed people from Australia, from South Africa, from the United States, from England, and of course here in Canada as well. And it's just like the world is so big and yet so small at the same time. And I've had some amazing conversations. Like some of those half an hour, 40, 45-minute conversations, I've been laughing, I've been pondering, I've been inspired, I feel connected. It is really such a rewarding experience. And it's just so nice to see when people put themselves out there. Because obviously I'm putting myself out there, but when I'm doing interviews, those people are putting themselves out there too. A lot of them are entrepreneurs, not all, but most. And again, I just love to see people putting themselves out there. Because let me tell you, it is not easy. There are some days, especially if you're a business owner, especially if you're a solopreneur, which means you're just doing it on your own, you don't have a team yet. There are so many days where you just want to quit. You're like, I don't have the energy for this. I don't have the time. I don't know if anybody's listening. I don't know if anybody's responding to me. And I don't just mean as a podcaster. I just mean like if you have a business in general. It can be very lonely and challenging experience. And so it's so nice when you can just kind of support and meet other people who are like-minded and are pursuing their own goals and journeys, even if they're different from yours. It's something about that energy that just is very encouraging and supportive. It's actually why I just today started a Facebook group. There's 3 people in it, and I'm very excited because that's people taking a chance. And this Facebook group is going to be for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs who want to have successful businesses, but they want to focus and on their well-being. They don't want to compromise their well-being. And so they're looking to be in support with people who get that. And so I'm so excited. If you want in, let me know. Just send me an email, Natalie at fromthefullcup.com, and I'm happy to send you the link. And it's not going to be an overwhelming Facebook group because some of them be doing the most, some of them have a lot going on. This is just we're going to meet like probably 2 or 3 times a month and just check in with each other and really support each other in our well-being journey. Because I think when you have your own business, you understand certain struggles separately from maybe other people. And also, sometimes you want to celebrate those wins, and maybe your friends don't care to hear about those business wins. So this is a safe place for you. But anyways, I'm just thinking like what are some of the other experiences like something like interesting is that when you have a podcast, other people have a lot of admiration for you. I didn't expect that, but when I just happened to casually mention that I have a podcast, it gives you authority. People are like, oh, you have a podcast? Wow. What's your podcast on? That's amazing. They just automatically see you as an authority figure in your space. And so that has been really exciting and it really adds to thought leadership if that is what you are doing. And obviously, for myself as a wellness educator, I am trying to develop my own thought leadership in the space of wellness. And so, podcasting has been a really great way for me to kind of get out my ideas and share my perspectives, specifically around disruptive wellness, because that's a completely different angle of wellness that is not covered in mainstream um, narrative about what wellness is. And so podcasting has really given me an opportunity to have my own voice, to have my own opinions on this topic. So that's been really empowering and rewarding. And also, I think just the idea to facilitate conversations. If you know me, you know that I love to talk. but I also love to learn. And so when I'm having interviews, I get to do both. I get to talk, I get to facilitate conversations, I get to ask questions that I think are insightful and engaging, and I get to learn at the same time. And I really like the idea of co-creating with an interviewee to make this or to make an episode. So that's been really exciting as well. I'm trying to think what other things as I just pause. I'm just, the fact, oh, another change I've done. Actually, you guys haven't seen it yet, but I have started recording the video of some of my podcasts. And only for the interview ones, because I think it's kind of weird to record me just speaking by myself. Because, like, right now it's late at night, and I mean, I guess I still could. It doesn't really make a difference, but I feel like I wouldn't come off as natural as I want to. But, anyways, I really enjoy recording videos. It allows me to just be more visible to you guys and to just really build that know, like, and trust factor. And so that's something I've had to really overcome. When I first started the podcast, I wanted to do podcasts so that nobody would see me. I was like, oh, I just don't want to be seen on camera. I don't like the idea of putting myself out there in the world in that way. But over time, first I started with my voice because I felt comfortable sharing that. And over time, I've become more and more comfortable. And to be honest, I wasn't ever going to do video, but then somebody wanted me to do video on their podcast. And then another person wanted me to do video on their podcast because I also do a lot of guest interviews. And so the more and more guest interviews I did on video, I just realized like, okay, maybe I'll start doing them for myself. And so again, it's just kind of cool to see the growth. I've had people listen to this podcast from Spain, Australia, Canada, England, US. I don't even know anybody in Spain, so that's like really cool. And it just shows that people are sharing the podcast. And I think it's so great because, a lot of times, like, think about the things that we share with our friends. We share memes and we might share jokes. And it's like, why not also share things that can be uplifting to them or even supportive to them, especially based on where they're at in life. And so, I don't look at the stats too much on the podcast, to be honest, but when I do, I'm always pleased. So that's just extra motivation to keep playing. Anyways, I don't want this reflection to be too long since I have 0 points written down and can potentially start rambling. But I'm glad I did this pause, just this moment of reflection, and I'll definitely keep doing this in the future, every who knows how many episodes. But when I feel like I need a pause to just consolidate and see how far I've come. And I hope that you can take a pause in your own life and just see your own growth, see your own progress, because I promise you there is growth, there is progress. And just honor and recognize that and celebrate yourself. Just take a moment to celebrate yourself and say, you didn't give up, congratulations. You're still going, congratulations. You're still trying, congratulations. Until next time, continue to serve yourself, your loved ones, and your communities from Full Cup.